Welcome, I'm Shelley Hayner. Sensing with Shelley. As a leader in the Sensory Awareness Foundation, I follow in the footsteps in the lineage of Elsa Gindler, Charlotte Selver, Carola Speads, Therese Bertherat. These were innovators, teachers of physical well-being, health education, changing from the inside out, not your typical calisthenic. Each teacher brings forth their own unique talent in offering sensory awareness. Every leader has their particular way of presenting. Many of us are also meditators. And in my practices of sensory awareness and meditation, I find the juncture between them is incredibly intimate and integral one to each other. This relationship of the senses are gateways into greater depth, self-awareness, self-discovery, and understanding. And as this unfolds, we meet ourselves where we are. We begin to awake and feel what the body is feeling when it's happening, and unpacking in the living process through the sensations and movement, greater intimacy with our past in the present, and through our conscious work, begin to transform what's yet to come out of the habit and pattern that has unconsciously shaped us. All of this work, these practices, involve slowing down and allowing the movement in the mind to rest on the body and inquire below the radar, below the thinking mind. Many who enjoy sensory awareness practice are artistic. They're musicians or dancers or poets. And anyone, all of us, are enriched by the arts. Whether we have talent or not, we hum along, we feel the beauty, and we long for the beauty. Sensory awareness establishes this beauty in a palpable way as we cultivate a relationship with ourself in the inner landscape of our condition. We go below the surface and dive deeply into our hearts, into our minds, into our own ease, well-being, and kindness. We each have our own story. I certainly have mine. I'm not here so much to tell you the story, but to offer you the tools I've gathered along the way, the basics, the preliminaries, and the approach that is with us all day long, so naturally and innately. We just require a nudge, a way to approach what's already there. In my reflection, I I've been teaching on Zoom, and of course, the preference is to be in person because of all the various and multiple components to the work, including hands-on work and working in pairs. It's an completely relational practice. And the relationship with oneself, of course, is key. And so I'm interested in bringing the practice into daily living and have charted kind of a hopscotch board through the day of stations, if you will, stations of sensory awareness, stations of the daily rite, places to calm, have catharsis and laughter, live in that pivot, that paradoxical moment where when we really connect deeply, we can laugh at ourselves. We can pierce through to a catharsis of understanding and kind of juice our hearts of and release our hearts of what was being held there in a tight fist. And when that's released, there's such a joyful response, and it can bring laughter. So these moments of paradox, these alchemic intersections where real change, real transformation, understanding, and wisdom arise. This is what we love about the arts, why we go to the theater, why we see a movie, when we listen to music or read a poem. We connect to another heart. In this practice of sensory awareness, as in meditation, we're connecting to our heart and clearing the path to feel the heart. Years ago, when I was a student of Advaita Vedanta, there was a wonderful analogy that the heart is like a prism, so many facets, letting the light through. We have to clean the heart. We have to clean those facets. If they're painted over, if they're opaque, the light doesn't shine, it's occluded. And every drop of conscious work helps to clear the heart. The basics include connecting with the laws of physics, gravity, feeling the draw of gravity. And with that, there's a yielding of the weight of the body. And here we begin to appreciate some rest, relief, safety, being held. We can let go. We're in a safe place right now. And the muscles, they kind of uncurl, the deep, clutched, tense, tight, contracted tissues in the thighs, in the calves, the shoulders. They just begin to yield, feeling gravity drawing you down, whether you're sitting or standing or lying down. And the vitality, the energy softens, dissipates a little bit. And after a while, the breath may come into view, and the movement and sensation of the breath coming and going. And we slow down a little more, and we see how, oh yes, I'm settling here. I'm willing to be here. My mind isn't darting to the shopping list or what's coming next, or I'm not listening again to that repeating conversation, or I wish I had, could have done. Just letting all that down, putting it down, letting it go. And suddenly you might recognize your feet on the floor and your butt in the chair and your back long and straight. Beginning to arrive, coming closer to being present with yourself. This is mindful, focused here. And the sense gates open and prominent, what's most prominent? The eyes see shape and form, peripheral vision in view, seeing the space between the objects. Feeling the air on the skin.